But yes, you just get inspired a lot also by your surrounding anyways.
Yeah.
So you are inspired by, in your work, also by the surrounding you live in, or the buildings you see, or the music you're listening to, and also, of course, what you see in your day-to-day life.
Some experience which probably all women share, that they have to be more loud when they speak because they don't want to be heard when a man stands in front of you and tell you how to make the guitar or tell you everything about life and whatever.
I was sort of running out of things to improve, and I wanted to try something new also.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a way to make a guitar that has all the main qualities of the traditionals while maybe adding a bit more power and some qualities of the double top system. So that was basically the reason I did it.
Siccas podcast. Hi guys, welcome to this podcast at SiccasGuitars. We are at the moment at the Guitar Festival in Iserlohn, and by the way, this beautiful room is provided by Hotel VierJahresZeiten in Iserlohn. And at this festival, we had the chance to have 3 women guitar luthiers at one place, and we thought that it would be a good opportunity to invite them for a podcast and to talk about the guitars that they are building, which kind of guitars they are building, and anything that you would like to talk about, because it's very rare to have you 3 at one place. And maybe before we start, we will do a very short introducing round. We started Friederike Linscheid. She's from Berlin. And where did you study, Friederike?
I studied in Mittenwald in the Luthier school there. I now have my workshop in Berlin, as you mentioned, and I make both traditional and double top guitars.
And double top guitars. And you're building double top, I think, since 1 year or 1.5 years, right? It's not that long.
It's not that long, but I think it's actually 2 now.
2 now, yeah. Beautiful guitars. You can hear a lot of videos and sound examples on our YouTube channel. So we go to Johanna Vogl.
Yeah.
And you are living at the moment in Weimar, and you have also your workshop
Yes,
at Weimar.
that's it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
together with Tamara, we're sharing the place. Yeah.
And you both studied in Mittenwald.
Yes.
So, and
Everything's
Tamara,
already
yeah,
said about me.
everything has been said. Yeah. So Tamara Stahl, yeah,
Yes.
she's also sharing the workshop with.
Yeah.
How is it to work at one workshop?
It is very nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yes, we really enjoy having a person to talk to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
sharing.
Yes,
very-
definitely. I think it would
because-
be I would get very lonesome if I were
Yes.
alone in the workshop all
Yeah.
the time. So because I'm sharing the workshop with my husband, Adrian Heinzelmann.
Adrian Heinzelmann,
Yeah.
you know him probably.
Yeah. So
Also one of my favorite guitar luthiers. Adrian, why are you not? You are not here. I mean, okay. Yeah, exactly.
No,
So-
we really much enjoy it. It's so good to have someone to talk to when you have something going on in your mind, or something is complicated, or you're not sure about something. You just want another opinion.
Yeah, but you have both your own space,
Yes, we
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we separated a bit the workshop so that
Mhm.
this is my space, this is Tamara's space, but
Yes.
all the machines we are sharing and
Some tools also.
tools also.
Okay.
Yeah, which is also a good advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to share
Yeah.
The workshop with
tools also.
another luthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same for you, I guess, no?
Yes.
So you are sharing also some tools with Adrian.
Yes. We,
Mm.
Basically, we have our separate hand tools and our separate places to work, but we share the machines and some jigs and setups. So
no.
Yeah.
it's very convenient.
Mm-hmm. But the funny thing is, your guitars look and sound completely different. But your
it doesn't,
guitars...
it doesn't mean it just because they share the tools.
Yeah, that
it
are,
has to be.
the guitars has to be the same. Yeah, but your guitar, it's very interesting because your guitars, I have the feeling that they are somehow going in the same direction. They are similar. Do you have also the similar ideas of the sound of the guitar?
Yeah, I would say so, because actually we always started to be interested in guitar making while we listen to the same music. And then after that we, I mean, since we are sharing the room, it's really obvious that we have a really comparable goal with it. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And now we can also combine the ideas how to come to this. And at the moment we are really in a, I could say really close to each other in the style of building.
Yes. Also, Johanna and I, we studied together at Mittenwald, so we all already there. I felt like we had kind of the same ideas, how for us an instrument or a guitar should sound, or what we really like in guitar making, and what we how we approach all of this. So already there, I knew that we kind of have the same. We have the same taste, but at the same time we don't build the exact same instrument. We have different. We have differences, definitely.
But you are both building traditional guitars.
Yeah,
no?
but it's funny because also I would say, since like in the time where I was working in your workshop, I get really much interesting stuff. How you can build more efficient, and this is something I also use now in the workshop, and some molds are really similar. Yes, and that's I'm really happy that I can, that we also
we profit from
each
our
other.
experiences a lot, and
that's really cool.
But it's also you're sort of making like a modern traditional guitar.
Definitely.
You're not making
Exactly.
copies,
No.
but a modern interpretation of a traditional
Yes.
guitar.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it is with you, but I feel like also when you are sharing a space, when you are spending a lot of time together, when you are hearing a lot of the ideas of another person, and you are talking a lot about some topics, and you are also hearing their instrument and their ideas, you just get inspired by each other. Also, it just
Every time, with everyone.
Yes. So we are definitely trying to not, we do not build the same instruments. We have also a different taste in how a guitar looks.
Yeah.
They look different. But yes, you just get inspired a lot also by your surrounding anyways. So you are inspired in your work also by the surrounding you live in, or the buildings you see, or the music you're listening to, and also, of course, what you see in your day-to-day life, and what you hear from other guitar makers and their guitars.
Yeah, I think also if you're when you're visiting a guitar festival and you're seeing so many different guitars, is there also sometimes, are you getting inspired by some other guitar luthiers?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
In details, yes. So I never was like, okay, I want to build exactly the same stuff.
Yeah, sure.
So, but for sure, we are sharing experience about the materials, and this is something which is really interesting for me. Also to talk about some measurement setups, what they are using, or
some people just have really good ideas about techniques. Okay, why am I not doing that? So that can be very, and most people are very open about the way they construct things, and the way they think. So it's a very cooperative and very collegial interaction with the other makers.
And I guess you are also sharing and exchanging a lot of information or ideas with Adrian.
Yes, sure.
Probably you have another, maybe it's a little different for you because you are doing it a lot longer than, for example, I do it. So you have probably, you exactly know what you want to do and you're doing it. For me, for example, now it's the first year that I'm going on festivals, so everything is brand new to me, and also a bigger exchange with luthiers. It's just a new thing for me. So of course I get extra inspired.
Inputs and
yes.
information from everywhere.
Yeah. When I leave a festival, I made the experience this year that I'm so much looking forward to go back to the workshop and start working on those things that I was talking about with the people and learning from.
This is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Friederike is already, I think, I saw you at Iserlohn Guitar Festival for the first time, I think 6-7 years ago.
No, it's way longer.
Longer.
I think the first time I went to Iserlohn was 2009 or 2010 or something like that.
And the funny thing is, since I was constantly on this festival every year, I could see the improvement of your guitars. And I know that, I think it was 2-3 years ago, at some point, your guitars started to sound amazing, even better than before, because you were building traditional guitars, and they had still some modern touch, very loud and very responsive, and some people thought that this is a double top guitar, but it was not. It's nice also for me or the people at SiccasGuitars who are constantly visiting the festivals to see the improvement of the guitars. And also when I was playing Johanna's guitar a few days ago, I told her, even this guitar is again much more comfortable to play than the two previous guitars that she has played, and the same with Tamara. So this is a very good sign that the guitars are getting better, or you are doing some steps forward, because with many guitar luthiers, I'm honest, I'm seeing the same guitar since years, and at some point you think, okay, I would wish more, I don't know, overtones or more bigger sound or whatever, and after 3 years it's again still the same guitar. So so congrats, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Keep it going.
I mean, in the end, it's your perception of the instrument. I'm starting now, so maybe I don't know. In 5 years, you will say, "Why is she doing the same over and over again?"
knows,
but
maybe.
I just love it, and stick to it. So, for some people, they have a system; it works for them, and they have people who like their guitars just as they are.
Yeah.
Yes, but for me, at this point, at least,
You are still
I'm
searching, or do you have already your?
It's more about optimizing, probably.
Yes, it's more about
Optimizing,
optimizing and optimizing processes, seeing how can the guitar be even more comfortable for the person. What can I change? Can I make a slight change to maybe, I don't know, open up some frequencies or just. I like my idea just as it is right now very much, and I'm feeling comfortable with what I'm doing. But yes. Just wanted to say that right now, at least for me, it's very important to always be in a process and find some new ways. But some people just have found their ways, and I think it's fine too. It's okay too for them to just stick to their stuff. And
if you think you have found your way and this is what you want to build and stick to it, it's totally fine.
Yes, but actually, I have the feeling that if you're on a festival, then there's so much opinions also around you, and the guys hopefully say really honest what they're thinking. And for me, it's always collecting what they say, and then I think about, okay, do I agree? Is it something I would like to put in my system of building or not? And so I find it actually really difficult to stick really into something, because it's so nice to always hear from the musicians what they are thinking, and to move on, and also with colleagues to talk about some design aspects also. For me, it's really inspiring.
Progress keeps the thing interesting.
Yes.
yes.
And why did you decide to build double top guitars? What was the?
I think that I was actually very happy with the traditional guitars, and I was sort of running out of things to improve, and I wanted to try something new also.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a way to make a guitar that has all the main qualities of the traditionals, while maybe adding a bit more power and some qualities of the double top system. So that was basically the reason why I did it.
Yeah, actually, your double top guitars, they have some traditional touch in the tone, but also the qualities of a double top guitar, which is very loud, fast response. What I'm also interested to know is who are your clients? Are there amateurs, beginners, students, professionals, or is it a mix? Maybe you can start. Because you both are very new. I mean, you're building amazing guitars, but you're actually very new.
Yeah, that's it.
So the people still have to discover you both.
Yeah. I think for me, I mean, I'm doing this now really, having my own workshop and working on my own guitars. I'm doing this now for 2 years. And as I said, this year...
Okay. I thought it would be longer. Okay.
No, it's 2 years. Maybe a little
The own workshop, yes.
Yes, the own workshop, yes. I mean, I started, of course,
But
before,
you've made guitars before.
I've made guitars before. I was working with a luthier, but having clients, I mean, is a thing that's rather new for me. So, and it's my first festival, so it did not.
This is your first festival.
My third festival now,
Okay.
but for this year. So most of my clients or the musicians that come to me, they come to me because they saw my guitars on Siccas.
Ah, really?
And they
I didn't want to do any advertisement.
No.
But okay.
I'm very happy about it. And
it's nice to hear that.
They write
the
me.
videos are useful.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
they write me. They tell me they saw my guitars online and they want to try them out in the workshop. They come by, and also some people just order from around the world and come from me seeing me and my guitars online. So it's not really the students that come to me yet. I hope that changes when I'm going to more festivals and there are more students and who play my guitars and But for now, it's mostly musicians from around the world.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Also some people that do it as a hobby, but also professional musicians.
Yeah. No, it's not the same actually, because my first orders were directly from this festival last year. The first thing I was building for a client was a classical guitar for a student.
Okay.
And
for music guitar students.
yes,
Right.
for classical guitar student. And in the time since then, there also came some people from. They saw me on Siccas, and sometimes it's not easy to say who are the people behind that.
Okay, yeah, because you don't do research on who.
Sometimes you just don't find the people.
Yeah.
You just go figure out who they are.
You're trying to do
research. But actually I don't know who's the person. So. But so I'm really interested in finding out in the next
This
years
is also
who would like to.
a good thing, not to know who is the client.
They say
it's like a surprise.
Yes,
Yeah.
the person behind. I mean, sometimes it would be not possible to get them to know because it's about the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it's really direct. Sometimes they say, "Okay, I want a guitar with 65 or 64 measurement." And that's it. I don't know more about.
Okay. And Friederike, okay, I know in your case it's a mix of both because you're. And I saw that Thibaut Garcia got a guitar from you a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Once.
it's a few months now.
Yeah.
So it's very
mix.
much of a mix now. So people from festivals, musicians, but also random people writing emails from the internet. Sometimes I really don't know how they find it. Sometimes they say they saw videos on Siccas, but it's not always easy to find out how they actually found me.
Mm-hmm. And where did Thibaut Garcia find it? And
it's actually quite funny because we met on the Children and Youth competition in Weimar when he was 16. Right at the beginning of my career, that was the first time we met. And then I met him again in Iserlohn when he was playing, I think, the first concert that he played in the Iserlohn festival. And he still could remember me from 10 years before. So
he has a good memory.
Yes, but it was still, he could still remember that he played my guitar then. And I mean, it was really like 10 years ago or something. It was just... so we kept meeting on different festivals, and when he saw, I think maybe the second or third double top I made, he really liked it, and he came to visit our workshop and played it again, and then he invited us to a festival in Toulouse, and we went there. It was very nice, very great experience. And after that, at some point, he just wrote me and said that he would like to place an order. And
so it means he was also trying your guitars. He was like seeing and trying your guitars since many years on festivals. At some point, the double top guitar was like, this is it.
Yes.
Yeah. This is also a good thing for many guitar luthiers to realize and to accept that you have to keep building and improving guitars, and don't be disappointed if your 10th guitar is not being played by a big name, because it doesn't make sense. I mean, so this is a very good example, because you were building guitars since many years. At some point, your recent guitars got very good feedbacks, and one of the biggest names is playing the guitar now.
It's also a progress and getting to know the people, and sometimes it just takes a long time until the right moment comes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Have you been listening to artists, what they wish in a guitar, and then did you try to optimize your guitars for the wish of the artists? Or was it always, okay, I have this sound in my head and I want to build a guitar like this? Or was it always, you got a feedback, you thought about that, and then you optimized your guitar?
I would say we do it all the time.
Okay.
With most of the guitars that we build, it's very, very important to get a feedback from people who play it professionally and really know what they need in an instrument, because of course I play the guitar, but I don't have the right techniques, and it is very important to be in touch with musicians and know what they want to have. And even if they like the sound, sometimes there are things that they say, oh, there it could be a little more open, or here I would wish it to be a little different. So it is so important.
And what are the most artists looking for? What is the feedback? I mean, do they wish for a big sound, or overtones, or playability? What is the most wanted quality in a guitar?
Wow, not so easy to say in one word, but it's the combination that it's good playable and responsive. But actually, in my case, it's not that I'm talking to the people and ask, okay, what kind of sound you like? Do you like it more warm or whatever?
Mm-hmm. You just see how they react.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is something I just discovered. Knew that there are also guitar makers who try to go in this direction. What one exactly person would like to have on the guitar and go in this direction with the build. That's not really what I what I'm doing. That I try always make my sound for this guy and then for another one, and because I also want a model which is working, which I can also repeat good, and
it makes sense, of course. If you had to move the sound direction of your guitar to different artists, because they all have anyway different opinions. So then you don't know what to do at the end, or every time you are building a different guitar. So of course it's important to stick to your way and to optimize the sound.
I also think it's very difficult to say in general what people want from a guitar. I mean, there are things, for me it's the same. I develop a sound and it's a character. It's characteristic for my guitars. People like it or they don't like it. But what's really important for most musicians, I think, is just that they are comfortable on the instrument. So they have a good playability and just can, rely on their instrument and know that it's working with them, not against them. And mostly it's, the whole system that does that, having a good response and having it easy to mold the tones. And it's just, that what I think I get from what people, if they play. That's what I'm thinking in the end.
Yeah, actually, I mean, you're right, because when I'm presenting guitars in the weekly guitar meeting, in the comments, sometimes I read, you have to talk about the shape of the neck and if it's comfortable for you. But I think, okay, maybe it's for me comfortable because I have short or big or long fingers. But for other people, it might feel completely different. So many qualities of a guitar are like very individual,
I think that's a very important part, and actually that's pretty true for the sound as well, because it has happened to me that different people played on exactly the same guitar and it sounded super different. And sometimes they would criticize something and I could hear what they meant when they were playing it, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily true for other people playing the guitar. So there's a very important part is a good interaction between the player and the instrument. And this is something very individual, and that's why you cannot really say, I mold my guitar to fit all the guitarists. It's because it's so individual.
No, the reason why I was asking what are the most of the artists looking for is because when we are recording videos at Siccas Guitars with artists, usually most of them ask for a guitar that responds very fast. So a guitar that they don't have to work a lot, just touch the strings and the sound is already there. And this is like response and loud and big sound was two points that most of the artists were looking for. Or there is also another group who who feel very comfortable on traditional guitars, and they wanted a guitar with a lot of colors and big dynamic range. So because at Siccas the artists are like divided in two groups.
Okay,
One
interesting.
group wants traditional sound, a lot of colors, and they don't care about big sound, and the other ones are like big sound, dark with a lot of overtones. And
it's interesting because you probably have a very good experience with that, So people come and they come to a place where they have many guitars, and there is a lot of options for them to choose from. So when they come to us, they just play our instrument, and we are the ones building them.
So it's interesting to hear from you also, because you have an overview, I think. But not a bit.
But sometimes I think that people have maybe a little bit too much of an idea in their head what a guitar of a certain construction will sound like.
Yes.
So I think it's very important to keep an open mind, that you don't think, okay, this is a double top, this doesn't have colors, and because don't think that's true.
No.
There are so many good guitars of all sorts of constructions. So probably I would always say that's the best way to try guitars, is just to try guitars without asking what is the construction like, because it will influence how you perceive the guitar. And it's more, I think it's if you're really looking for an instrument, just try guitars and see what you like without knowing what it's made.
It happens.
That's a good tip, I think.
It happens many times with the students who come to Siccas for a recording session. Many of those students have straight away an idea in their head, and they say, okay, I play only traditional guitars. Okay, and then I give them traditional guitars, but it doesn't feel comfortable. Then I give them a double top guitar or lattice. Oh, this one is good. So yeah, but this is not a traditional guitar. So, or also the other way around. Some people want to, I play only on double top guitars, and then I give them a double top guitar and they don't feel comfortable at all. So the best way to try guitars is to try different guitars, as you said. It makes sense. It's a very simple sentence, but it makes sense. Yeah. What I'm also very curious about is what is your experience as a female guitar luthier in a like luthiery world, not only in guitar but in general, in a luthiery world where mostly the male luthiers are working or building instruments. Who wants to start?
I mean, it's a good question, and of course, you know, if I think about it, I can only speak in my I made personal experiences, so I can only talk about me. But of course, I mean, as you said, it's a very mainly male world. So of course, I would lie if I said that I don't make experiences where I'm thinking, is it because I am a woman? Of course, that's happening. I would say when I'm thinking about the luthier world, I feel very much accepted, and I don't feel mainly I really don't feel like they don't accept me because I'm a woman or something like that. It's more the opposite.
Yeah, the people appreciate it.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes, and I feel very much accepted, and I don't feel like being left out or just a negative outcome because I am a woman. Not at all. I mean, of course, sometimes, for example, when you are on a festival and you stand by your guitar and people come by, mainly men, that don't believe that you built this guitar, or they just ask you where's the guitar maker, or it's happening very regularly. It's very normal, actually, that this happens, and of course sometimes it can be a little annoying.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can imagine.
A thing that is probably just important is that, or my wish in the end is just that I'm seen for my work and not seen for me being a woman making guitars. I mean, of course, I'm a person, I am a woman, and it's I stand with my guitars. That's mostly how it is, but yes, I'm just really appreciating it when people just focus on my work and not on me being a woman.
It's nice to hear.
Yes,
Good talk.
Yeah, I think that's probably happened to every female luthier, so that people just think that you're just tending to the guitar, or are really surprised that you've made it, and it's still
Sorry, I have to know.
But I don't think it's so much about
so strange.
it's super
strange.
strange. Yeah, it's very strange. But I think it's not so much about us. It's more about the idea of the people that they have, like an image in their mind what a luthier looks like, and I think there's still some people that have like a old male maker in the head, and they could be nearly equally surprised if it was a very young man making very good guitars. Like so, but I think there's also a lot of progress in that. That's happening. So it's
slow progress,
Slow but steady, I would say.
Yeah.
And there are more female luthiers on the festivals now.
Yeah.
I used to be alone quite often, not always, but still quite often. So I think it's changing, and I think the more visible female makers become on the internet and on the festivals, the more normal it gets that there's a young woman making instruments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I
do
think
this.
That's how it works.
Let's start. All the women out there, come here.
I mean, it's also maybe it's about more about the younger generation, because as you said, the people have in their mind, okay, guitar luthier, 60 years old man, white hair, and like I'm building guitars since 50 years. And sometimes it was also the case with me when I see a guitar at a festival which is built very nice and is sounding very good, and suddenly I see this guitar is made by Adrian Heinzelmann and he's, I don't know, 37, 36?
No, he's 30.
Yeah, and it's like many people think, okay, he's an apprenticeship of older guitar luthier, and it happens also to the younger guitar luthiers, and sometimes it doesn't matter if they are male or female guitar luthiers, and the people have so.
But it's not just like that, because I definitely have had the experience that when Adrian and me were at a festival together, that there is a specific type of person that somehow then tended to come over and say, and here's the master talking to Adrian. So it's it's not just the age. I think it makes the thing slightly worse. So people are maybe more surprised, but it's definitely not just the age.
No, it's not just the age. No, not at all.
Interesting experience, because we cannot experience this combination.
I cannot recommend it. So you're not missing out anything.
So in the festival, you have to keep your tables very separated to avoid this kind of
No, we're not
situation.
doing that. Mostly now, because we've been coming to festivals for so long.
Everyone knows you already.
That most people know us. So it has slowed down a lot for me. Occasionally, some sort of, I don't know, maybe some local people that are, but in the classical guitar scene, that we know enough people that it happens very rarely that someone, mostly people know me, so it has slowed down a lot for me, but I really remember when I was in the position that Johanna and Tamara are now, that it came as a surprise for me, because when I was in the luthier school, it never felt like that, because I had very nice people around me within the class, and it never ever felt like that. So when I started to come to festivals, it was a slightly unpleasant revelation that there's definitely some sort of image in people's heads that would keep them from trusting in my instruments, because I was getting really good feedback right from the start, but it took a while until I really started selling instruments from festivals. And whenever I handed a guitar to a dealer, it was gone in a day or something. And there was sort of like a misproportion in between the amount of guitars I was selling from festivals to dealers, where they were mostly sold by men, and I wasn't so connected with them, because a name in the instrument isn't like meeting a very young woman with her instruments. So I think I felt it quite a bit, And I even had some people complaining to me that my guitars looked too female.
Oh, okay.
I'm also hearing that, not too female, but it sounds female, and
Yeah.
it's
With your guitar.
yes,
Okay.
it's quite often that
But your
the
guitar
word
sounds
female is
very
coming.
responsive and big. I
Yes,
mean,
but it's
And that
not
is-
because
that
of the
isn't
guitar.
female?
yeah, okay. I was thinking about it. Okay.
But
Good
it's
point.
It's not about the guitar. It's just about the image they have of me,
Yeah,
and they
it's
just
about-
project it on the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
think
very
that's true.
clear. So
But
Mhm.
in addition to what you said, what was your experience in the earlier years where I was not in the luthier game? I am happy to say that for me, it was not the experience like you had, that the people were just like, oh no, I don't trust you. I think you made a good job, so that they can trust me because also I'm a woman. And that's what I really like about this topic, because I see it develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
I mean, some
Exactly.
people started before me, like Angela Waldner, for instance, who's been in the business for at least, I don't know, probably
30 years or?
a long time, and some others that came before. So I think now it gets really more normal.
Yeah.
So I think that's feasible for the next female luthiers that coming into the market.
yes,
Wow.
that would be the
Yeah.
coolest, to have more and more
Yeah.
female luthiers appear on the surface,
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that will change
Uh,
naturally a
yeah.
lot in
Yeah.
people's minds, I think.
Yeah, and also the if there's presence on the internet and stuff, it just feels like it's a path you can choose. So it might also change the way that people choose to their profession. So when it feels like something that's just a job you can do as a woman, it's more likely that you will maybe apply to one of the luthier schools or find a different way to turn yourself into a luthier.
But I have to add also that it is not happening without work. So I have the feeling that it is work to make the confidence which I already have, to stabilize it and hold it also, because it is often, I mean, this is some experience which probably all women share, that they have to be more loud when they speak because they don't want to be heard when a man stands in front of you and tell you how to make the guitar or tell you everything about life and whatever, to stay calm and tell you, okay, let him talk. And but I am still learning to be cool with it and not to be like make a wall between me and such people, which are
it's a good
too
choice, good approach.
so I really appreciate that we can sit together and support each other in this way, and not to be frustrated about it only, but to share the experience and laugh about it, because sometimes it's so also really funny for me sometimes to see that it's always the same progress, and every man has to learn that it's also for women. And
Yes, and also like when you're talking about it, I think it just really does good to talk about it, because then you're making the mutual experiences, and if other female luthiers tell us that they're like being asked very personal questions from customers that feel very inappropriate and like about life decisions, and which I'm really sure wouldn't be asked if they were male. So, and I think that needs, it needs more conscious that things have to stay in a professional area, even if you're talking to a young woman.
In general.
In general,
Yes.
or a young man who
Yes,
is completely independent who you're talking to.
Yeah.
It should always be.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like for men it's not so difficult to have these.
I think it doesn't happen so much.
That's also a good point.
Well, so that was some interesting experiences and thoughts from your side, and it's very refreshing to hear it all from you. So is there anything that you want to share, or some ending words?
Well, I would actually emphasize that we have lots of really great colleagues of all genders and
Yes. And all ages. Also.
and all ages.
Yes.
Really, like
Yeah.
I think in the luthier scene, I've barely ever made odd experience. They're really appreciative
Yeah.
right from the start. I
Yes.
felt
Yeah.
very, very respected
Welcomed.
and
Yeah.
welcomed and treated as an equal, entirely independent from my age and gender.
Yeah.
So that's really great, I think.
Sometimes the dynamics in a talk when we are sitting with the luthiers is a bit different when we just sitting here, I feel. And sometimes I feel like a bit more, relax and just listen. Mainly what may depends on that last year was new. But now I also get the feeling that they're really cool and they, really I feel expected as I ever felt. And
What I also want to say is just thank you for having
Yes.
this talk with us, because I think it's such a nice idea to do this also maybe more often and talk about our experiences and just sit and talk and share it with people also. So thank you so much for
You are very welcome.
planning this.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
Thank you.
taking your
Yeah.
time and for being open and to be willing to talk about this
Of
topic,
course.
and also your experiences in general as a guitar luthier, idea of the sound. And if you want to know more about the work of Friederike Linscheid, Johanna Vogl and Tamara Stahl, go and visit their social media channels and websites. I will put everything in the video description. And if you want to hear their guitars, you will find for sure many videos on our YouTube channel. Just write on our YouTube channel their names and the guitars will appear. And thanks for watching. Thanks once again for being here.
Thanks for inviting us.
yeah, really
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Many thanks. And see you next time.